Other news, in campaign 2016, a scathing new attack on Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump tonight. And it's coming from within the ranks of the GOP.
Dozens of Republican national security officials have now signed off on a letter questioning Trump's fitness for office. KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan joins us now with more on the criticism and the fallout. Dave.
You know, for a long time, Donald Trump was like the invincible candidate. Nothing seemed to affect him. Now it seems like nothing goes right for him. Politics is a strange game. Even on the day Donald Trump unveiled his economic plan for America's future, he came under fire from fellow Republicans, those fellow Republicans who had worked in Republican administrations from Richard Nixon to George W. Bush. They charged he would be the most reckless president in American history. 50 former national security officials who served Republican presidents, including the three men seen here, have signed an open letter declaring they won't be voting for Donald Trump. Writing, from a foreign policy perspective, Donald Trump is not qualified to be president and commander-in-chief. Indeed, we are convinced he would be a dangerous president and would put at risk our country's national security and well-being. Among those signing the letter, first reported by the New York Times, are former CIA Director Michael Hayden, former Homeland Security Secretaries Michael Chertoff and Tom Ridge, and the former Director of National Intelligence, John Negroponte. But this is not the first time Ridge, a former governor of Pennsylvania, a key battleground state, has blasted Trump.
How the hell can he be a commander-in-chief when he says POWs are not heroes? And then you go the whole Muslim, every Muslim's a potential terrorist.
And now Republican Senator Susan Collins has written in the Washington Post that she will not be voting for Trump either. In 2013, Collins made this statement not about Trump, but reflecting what she wrote about him in the Post.
Surely in America today, people should be judged on their qualifications and their hard work.
Collins now becomes the first Republican senator to publicly announce she won't be voting for her party's presidential nominee.
It's a conversation about how to make America great again for everyone, especially, and I say especially, for those who have the very least.
And the worst news for Trump is the GOP revolt came on the day when he unveiled his economic plan to fire up the national economy. Although the protesters in the audience certainly tried to throw him off topic, interrupting his speech more than a dozen times. But Trump wasn't biting this time, sticking to his economic theme.
When we reform our tax, trade, energy, and regulatory policies, we will open a new chapter in American prosperity.
In fact, Trump's economic proposals were by and large a recitation of traditional GOP economic dogma since the Reagan administration, with across-the-board tax cuts, hostility toward federal regulations, and support of fossil fuels.
My plan will reduce the current number of brackets from 7 to 3 and dramatically streamline the process.
In fact, under pressure, Trump dumped his original tax plan and embraced a less expensive plan drafted by House Republicans with tax brackets of 12, 25, and 33%. The original Trump plan had a top rate of 25% and a more generous tax deduction. The Nonpartisan Tax Policy Center calculated Trump's original plan would have cost more than $10 trillion in the first 10 years. But at a rally in St. Petersburg, Florida, Hillary Clinton said the Trump plan would explode the national debt by cutting taxes on the richest Americans and spending more.
He wants to basically just repackage trickle-down economics. Trickle-down economics does not help our economy grow. It does not help the vast majority of Americans.
And she mocked Trump's new economic team. 13 white men.
Hedge fund guys, billionaire guys, 6 guys named Steve, apparently.
And now even some conservative Republican radio talk show hosts are jumping on Trump, like this question posed to Trump's running mate.
Can you or anyone else get Mr. Trump to stop saying crazy and offensive things for the next 3 months?
You always hear these rumors, and it just, I guess it makes for good fodder on the internet.
Well, the polls right now are continuing to move in Hillary Clinton's favor. A new Monmouth University national poll gives her a 13-point lead over Donald Trump among likely voters. She had only a 2-point lead in the same poll taken before the conventions last month, Lena.
Yeah, so we're still months from Election Day, but do you think it's time for Donald Trump to panic yet?
Well, you know, it may not be time, but I think that time is coming up pretty fast, actually. We keep hearing almost every day that Donald Trump is rebooting his campaign again, but so far it's had little impact on the polls, and now it seems like every day more and more Republicans are lining up to repudiate him. Clearly, that's not a winning scenario. Is it too late to reverse that? Probably not, because the single most important factor in this election will likely be the debates, and they're still about a month and a half away. If Trump can stabilize his campaign and stop the bleeding soon, he could still turn it around during the face-to-face debate showdowns where he would be the underdog, and Jeff, there'd be lots of pressure on both of them.